A few days ago, I made a video asking, does PvP even make sense in Arc Raiders? I thought I knew exactly what the comments were gonna look like. PvP players arguing with PvE players. Pretty standard stuff. Instead, I ended up reading through comment after comment, and I realized something. I don't think people were arguing about PvP. I think they were arguing about something much bigger. Most people play games. I've spent years breaking them. Let's get into it. So, going through the comments of my last video, I started seeing a pattern appear. It's kind of my thing, can't really turn it off. One group sees Arc Raiders as a dangerous PvPvE extraction shooter. To them, player betrayal isn't a flaw, it's the entire point. The tension comes from never knowing whether another raider is going to help you or kill you. Without that possibility, they argue the game loses its identity. But another group sees something completely different. They see a world where humanity has been driven underground and a world where survival depends on cooperation, where raiders should be helping each other fight the Arc, not each other. To them, PvP feels like it's fighting against the lore rather than supporting it. Okay, this is getting interesting. So I keep reading more comments. On the surface, it looked like two completely different opinions, but the more I read, the more I realized something wasn't adding up. Because the strange thing is, both sides kept describing the exact same world. The same Arc, the same Speranza, the same struggle to survive. One kept saying, we should be working together, while others kept saying, people would never work together. That's when it hit me. Maybe they weren't describing two different games. I think they were describing two different kinds of people. The more I thought about it, the more one question kept popping in my head. How can two groups of people look at the exact same world and come away with two completely different conclusions? They're looking at the same lore, the same characters, the same city, the same Arc, the same struggle to survive, but nothing's changed, except the way people interpret it. One group sees cooperation, the other sees competition. One group sees trust, the other sees survival. Neither side is describing a different version of Arc Raiders, they're describing the version that stands out most to them. Then something else occurred to me. What if the community isn't actually disagreeing? What if they're simply connecting with different parts of the same experience? The players who love PvP, they're not ignoring the lore. They're focused on the uncertainty that other players create. The players who want more cooperation, they're not ignoring danger either. They're focused on humanity surviving together. Maybe that's why this discussion never seems to end. Not because one side is right or the other one is wrong, but because they're defending the part of Arc Raiders that resonates with them the most. Before I go any further, I'm not talking about cheating, exploiting, or toxic behavior. Those are real issues, but they're game integrity issues. That's a completely different conversation. What I'm talking about is the role players choose to play inside the world Arc Raiders has created. And that's when I realized I think I was asking the wrong question. I kept asking, who's right? But I don't think that's the interesting part. The interesting part is, how can two groups of players experience the exact same game and walk away believing it's trying to tell two completely different stories? The more I thought about it, the less I believed that was happening, because both sides agree on almost everything. They agree the Arc are dangerous, they agree that humanity is struggling, they agree resources are scarce, they even agree that every encounter matters. This disagreement isn't about the world, it's about the people living in it, and I think that's what the comments were trying to tell me. After reading all those comments, I think I finally realized what everyone was actually debating. Not PvP, not PvE, the story. Some players see Arc Raiders as a story about humanity coming together to survive. Others see it as a story about what happens when survival pushes people apart. But maybe those aren't two different stories at all. Maybe they're two sides of the exact same story. Because humanity has never responded to hardship in just one way. Some people help, some people take, some people trust, and some people betray. So maybe the discussion was never really about whether PvP belongs in Arc Raiders. Maybe it was about which side of humanity each of us believes is the more believable one. After reading all the comments, I don't think either side is wrong. I think you're all looking at the same world, you're just seeing different sides of the same story. Remember, I can't tell you where I've been, but I can tell you what I've learned. Have a good one, gamers, and I'll see you in the next one.